Have you ever been in a situation when the phrase, the light flashing before your eyes, will be used? I have to be honest, I was I was 3 times in a situation where the light flashing before your eyes will be a phrase, but sadly, I don't remember that. I got in an accident, then I got caught in an explosion, and then I was left by my coroner. He sent me to steal some goods in the army, and he forgot, and he left me in the freezer too. So I don't remember what happened. Just remember waking up and being thankful to God that I was still in here. And many people just wait for the light flashing before your eyes moment to make a decision or a profession of faith. But let me tell you, in my experience, and it's a very limited experience, it's not a peer review article or anything similar, those times maybe will not happen. So it's better to be ready before the light flash in front of your eyes than be too late and wake up in a different place. The passage today talks about a guy that have that experience. But it talks about a guy that his sins didn't learn much from the grandparents and from the parents. We discovered last week that Nebuchadnezzar lived like an animal, and finally he got the moment that he recognized that God is king, that God is the sovereign over all. And he write his testimony, he leave a manifesto. We will get a couple of details in the passage to see that in the end of his life, he was actually declaring and sharing the good news of Jesus. But this message is also for us, sadly. It doesn't matter how much I try to indoctrinate my girls, they need to make the decision by themselves. It doesn't matter how much we broke by the neck or the ear or pull the hair or anything and sit the kids in junior Sunday school or any variation of that, or make them go through Bible class. It has to be a personal decision. They cannot call God Granny or Granda. They need to call God my Father. There is no jumping the generation. And sometimes we will love God to be Granda or Granny, because you know that you don't get told off as much, and then you get a lot of more chocolate. You know, everybody knows. And then wherever you grew up with your parents and you live with them and you know how strict they were with you, how many times you were put in the naughty corner, or a left jab or a right hand was given to you, you then sit there with the grandkids and you're like, what happened to you? What is wrong now? It's like, oh, they are just kids. Let them be kids. And you're like, you didn't let me be a kid. Well, that's enough of that rant. So we all want God to be a granda. Now we come and say, can you give me this, Fa? Can you give me this? There is a different story today. This guy is, by historians and many people declare, he is the grandson of Nebuchadnezzar from chapter 5. And so some time has passed between chapter 5 and chapter 6. We have this guy. And even though he pretends and he's really good and fancy and he's the boss and he have this party going on and everything, he is not even the boss of the whole thing. And so his father, Nabonidus, doesn't like Babylon too much, and he have created a pseudo capital of the Babylonian Empire in a city called Temas, that will be where South Arabia is today. So he is living in this pseudo capital. He is the king of Babylon, and they together they are leading and reigning over Babylon. But let's be honest in here. Every time that you say that two people are doing something and they have the same power and they are both the leaders, let's be honest, there is always somebody that is going to be the boss. Have you ever worked with somebody like you say, like, you and I, don't be pointing fingers, guys. The thing that you have to deal in the front, you know. So you're working with somebody and say, you and I are equals, we work, we are in the same place, we are bosses together of this, and so don't worry about, can you just grab my cup of tea, please? You know who is the boss. The boss is the one waiting for the cup of tea. This fellow, Belshazzar, gets the party going. And this is what you get, how stupid and how cocky he is. 7 days earlier, the Medo-Persian Empire has destroyed and killed his father's capital in Thebes. His dad is dead. Even though in the passage he probably doesn't know entirely his dad is dead, because he called the guy who interpreted the writing the third in the kingdom, and he knew that his dad was dead. He would probably want to promote it as the second. But the empire is under attack. But he lived in Babylon. Babylon is a walled city, and they have 2 walls. And then they have a river that travels in the middle of the city. So they actually believe that his kingdom will never be destroyed, and he trusts. So, in the middle of the attack, in the middle of crazy things going on, he decides to throw a party. And we read the party. And then it is fair to say that parties are not bad, but this party is going to become really bad. He threw his party for 1,000 of his lords, and he start drinking wine, and he is dancing, and he is enjoying himself. Still, this party is okay. Nothing wrong with it. But then he commanded, this is what things get bad. He commanded the vessels of gold and silver that Nebuchadnezzar, his father, has taken out of the temple he brought, to be brought to him. And then when you are reading the passage, you say, like, May, don't take it so far. Do you know, like, there are people that take things or take the joke and take it, and they move too far. And then you are saying, the line is here. Don't cross the line. But he is saying, I don't care about the line. Bring me all the vessels of the house of the Lord. And I'm going to drink it with my lords. I'm going to drink it with my wife. And I'm going to drink it with my prostitutes too. And then you're like, can it get worse? Yes, it can. Because he was not only drinking from the vessels of the house of the Lord, but he started praising the gods of Babylon. If you read in the passage, you say that all together, he started praising the gods of gold, silver, bronze, iron, wood, and stone. And then you may think, what's the problem with this? The problem is that he is using God and the vases of the house of God to praise these other gods. And so, in a public declaration, he is saying, the God of heaven, the God, the Creator, is going to serve me, and is going to serve my gods. He is committing blasphemy in front of the eyes of God. He is committing blasphemy in front of the eyes of all the people, and he is mocking God. He is just openly mocking God. And that's something that you cannot do. So in the midst of his mockery and in the midst of his fight, a hand comes out of nowhere. And you have written, as we get at the bottom, that's what it was written in the wall. Mene, mene, teke, parsen. And this is a Bible passage that in the translation of the ESV and in any translation of the Bible, we kind of soften up the meaning of this passage. Robin, we were talking about how my Aramaic was really bad last week. So for this one, I practiced a bit more. This is verse 6. Then the king's color changed and his thoughts alarmed him. His limbs gave way and his knees knocked together. In the original language, and this is my paraphrase, is maybe not totally right, but the paraphrase will be, he changed. His mind went crazy and he put in his pants and his knees shiver. It's less soft than whatever it says in there. When he saw the hand, when he saw it's like his knees shivered timbers, and he put himself, because he was scared to death. Because he was too happy mocking God. He was too happy saying that he is the big guy. But when God showed up, he knew who has the power. So from the smell of wine, you get the smell of poo in the pants. And it's very difficult to have any self-respect for this fellow as he start acting all tough when you know he has poo in his pants. Like, can you picture this guy trying to be bossy when, may go to the toilet and clean yourself. You are not the boss. But he still is keeping his force, and he is still pretending that he is the big guy. The thousand lords and the rest of the people can smell. You are not the boss. God is the boss. He called everybody to come, and he is showing, and then he made the declaration, and in his declaration, you know how pitiful he is. Indeed, he is pitiful. He said, if you interpret this dream, you will be clothed with purple, that is the royal clothes, and I will put you a gold chain around your neck, and you shall be the third ruler in this kingdom. You cannot even make it the second ruler. Like at least Pharaoh, when Joseph came and gave the interpretation of the dream in the book of Genesis, he said, you will be second in the kingdom because I am the boss. You are not the boss. You have poo in your pants and you are making a fool of yourself. Stop being an idiot. Like when you are reading the passage, I get cross with this fellow. God show up, he gave you a message, you have no clue what is happening, you shake there like a baby, you put in your pants, and you are still pretending that you are the boss. At what point you are going to realize that life is flashing before your eyes? He doesn't get it. So all of these balloons, fools come to interpret the dream, nobody have a clue, and then the queen comes. This queen is probably the wife of Nebuchadnezzar. She is not part of the party. You realize she is coming into the room when you get all the commotion. If I want to be cheeky and laugh about this guy, she probably came into the room because the smell was brutal. She came into the room. And she's explaining that in the days of your father, it's not your literal father, but maybe your grandfather. In the days of your father, there was a guy that knew and interpreted things. It's called Daniel. Daniel had been pushed aside. He is not part of this picture. He is not part of this. And then he say, send me Daniel. And then you think, as we are getting these things going on, then he is going to start changing his mind. Okay? You were partying, you say that your gods were over God, you blaspheme God, you are just mocking, then God show up, you put in your pants, you don't have any idea, your grandmother come, tell you about this guy, and then this guy is going to explain you everything. How will you treat the messenger of God? If you are in the transition of, actually, maybe I need to repent, how you will welcome the messenger of God? This guy just gaslight Daniel. Look at the passage, how he gaslight Daniel. He just came, and then Daniel was brought before him, verse 13, and the king answered and said to Daniel, you are that Daniel. Look. This fellow infuriates me, like I am being honest with you. This fellow infuriates me. He said, you are that Daniel, one of the exiles of Judah, whom the king my father brought from Judah. So he wants to establish his authority and his position. He said, like, you are that Daniel, you are a slave, you are an idiot, you are somebody that my dad make you a slave, and you are here to serve me. The messenger of God is not going to be serving you. Stop being an idiot. The messenger of God is going to be serving whom? God. Then he comes with the same story. If you do this for me, I will give you the color purple, I will give you a golden chain, and I will make you third in the kingdom. To what Daniel says, don't need it, don't want it, don't care about it. Don't need it, don't want it, and don't care about it. But I am going to tell you the message of God for your life. And this is the important part. This is the message of God for his life. These are the three words, and we are going to try to get the interpretation of the word and the sound of it. First one is mene. Mene will be 1 mina, that is 60 shekels. And so the first one, mene, will also mean number. The second one, you have mene, second tekel. The second one is 1 tekel, that is 1 shekel, and it means also weight. And the third one, that is the longer one at the end, is called parsin, that it means divide and Persia. So the first one is God has numbered the days of your kingdom. Second, Balthasar, you have been weighed by God and found wanted. But basically, God has weighed the actions of your life, and there is nothing. There is nothing. And the third one, your kingdom is going to be given and is going to be divided by the Medo and the Persians. A couple of months ago, I called about a show that I really like, and I just realized that most of the shows that I like are only watched by Connor and myself. So I will have to give you a bit of day about this show. It's called The Good Place. So in the good place, when people die, they arrive to the good place or to the bad place. And then basically the example and in the way that the people explain it is like every single action on earth is going to be weighted. And then you have green numbers that are positive numbers, and you have red numbers. And so, for example, we are getting close to some Valentine's Day, okay? So Kevin, wherever you are buying flowers for Mary for Valentine's Day, you get positive points for those. Hopefully not just for Mary, but whoever is the accountant is getting the numbers, you get positive points. But you can maximize those points, Kevin. I'm going to give you a clue how you can maximize those points. If you buy flowers in the supermarket, you get some points, but no, that's good. If you buy organic flowers, you get extra points. If you buy organic flowers from Paraguay, and the money goes straight to the farmer in Paraguay, you get extra points. But if you buy the flowers, and they are not organic, and the money doesn't go to the farmer, but just go to Tesco's, you lose points. So don't buy flowers, brother. That's the end of the story. Mary, you get no flowers today. So, when you weigh the stuff, and in the show the crazy truth of the show is, it doesn't matter what I do, because it's impossible for me to quantify all the points. It is impossible. It is impossible. I have tried to buy good coffee beans or go to a hipster coffee shop, but you cannot get the points. The thing with this guy is, like, you actually can magnify your points to the extreme. And even though he is being numbered, he is being weighted, and his kingdom is going to be divided, he can declare that God is king. He can declare that God is king. And you are trying to realize this guy is in a predicament of a situation. He has put his pants. God have come. The messenger of God is declaring that this is the end. Game over, brother. Do you know when you play video games, you get 3 life? And then once that you finish the 3 life, if you are playing a proper game, or if you play Call of Duty hardcore, probably somebody in the screen that play Call of Duty. So you are watching online, you play Call of Duty hardcore, what happens? If you get shot once, you die. You get 1 shot. If you like Hamilton, the Broadway thing, 1 shot. I need 1 shot. I am not going to make the song because I make a terrible impression of Hamilton, but 1 shot. You get 1 shot. And this guy, the bullet is coming, and he's not near from the matrix. He's not going to be able to escape it. Look at the end of the passage. It's so sad. He's so sad. Then Belshazzar gave the command, and Daniel was clothed with purple. A chain of gold was put around his neck, and a proclamation was made about him that he should be the 3rd ruler in the kingdom. He just continued with his program. He just continued with his program. God talked to you. Your grandmother came. Your dad understood. Daniel is saying in the middle of the declaration all the story, and he said, and you know about it. This guy knows about God. He knows about the power of God. His grandfather was a pig, lost his humanity, and was restored. He declared, he sent a message, and in the last year, he just wanted everybody to understand that God is God. He just knew, but he didn't want it. He didn't want it, God. And then you are like, how? 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 And that's the question that I have. How? people persist in not wanting God. Can we just pray? Can we just pray for those that still don't want God? Because I don't want them to end up like this idiot. I don't want it. We are going to do it different. I'm not going to finish in prayer because you know who do you want to pray for. So get a couple of minutes. If you want to go on your knees, go on your knees. Couple of minutes to pray. Because I want, when the life are numbered, when the life is weighed, then they will be able to maximize their points and said, God is my dad. Let's pray.